Hello guys, welcome to the Black Channel, the channel introducing the best movies and series in the history of cinema. In this video, we will introduce you to 50 of the best series in the history of cinema forever. Series based on scores of critics and websites.
Yeah, this is America. Guns in my area.
Number 50, Taboo. The story of this English series takes place in 1813, and the main character of the story, James Delaney, played by Tom Hardy, returns to his hometown of London with 14 diamonds after many trips and living in Africa, and finds out that his father is dead.
You know, Teddy, you really let me down, and that's hard to do because I don't expect much from the inbred child of a retard.
Number 49, Prison Break. The story of this series is about a smart man named Michael Scafield, who tattooed the complete map of the prison locations on his body to save his brother from prison, and goes to prison to help his brother. But his work becomes difficult and he is forced to let another prisoner escape from prison. Number 48, The Walking Dead. This series has many seasons and episodes, the new season of which was aired in 2024. The story of the series is about Mackie and Negan, who are forced to travel to Manhattan, a city that has become the city of the dead, to find Maggie's missing son. All its places have been destroyed. Number 47, Vis a Vis. The story of this Spanish series, directed by Alex Pina, is about a young girl named Macarena, who falls in love with her manager, and because of him, she steals several millions of money and therefore goes to prison, a prison where many criminals live. After a few days, Macarena is forced to change his behavior, and very soon Macarena becomes a dangerous prisoner. Number 46, Lost. The story of this American TV series is about a group of survivors of a plane crash. The plane crashes on its way from Sydney to Los Angeles, and its passengers are lost on an island in the South Pacific and must do their best to survive.
Morning.
Morning.
You were sleeping in my sheep pen.
Sorry.
Number 45, Mare of Eastwood. The story is about a woman named Mare, played by Kate Winslet, who is a police informant and must do her best to find a young girl named Katie, who has been missing for several days, and her family is worried about her. Mare, who is a smart agent, tries his best to find this girl, but with his personal problems, he cannot make a good decision. Number 44, Warrior. The story is about a Chinese man who travels to America to get a job and a better life. He is very skilled in martial arts, so he joins a Chinese crime group. He soon becomes an important person in this group and helps a lot to the progress of this group. Number 43, Atlanta.
Excuse me, sir. Fuck off. I know, right?
The story of this series is about two cousins who decide to become rap singers in order to have a better life for themselves and their families. Ernst Marx, who is the manager of a youth program, tries to train his talented cousin as a young rapper, introduce him to the world of music and help him in his dreams. Number 42, Money Heist. The story of this Spanish series is about a man named Professor who plans to rob the Central Bank of Spain. He finds a group of people who can help him and teaches them how to do this big robbery. Granted, this series has been made in 5 seasons, and also in 2024 a new spin-off of the Berlin character has been made that you can watch. Number 41, The Haunting of Hill House. One of the best horror series on TV, this series is based on the book of the same name by Shirley Jackson, and is about the Crane family who are forced to fight their old fears after bad things happen to them. Number 40, Hannibal. American drama and crime series whose story is about Will, a smart agent in the criminal department who is very professional in his work. He gets into trouble in one of the murder cases and goes to Dr. Hannibal for advice, but this man is very dangerous and a cannibalistic killer. Number 39, Mindhunter. The story of this crime series is about 2 FBI agents, Holden Ford and Bill, who, in cooperation with the famous psychologist Wendy Carr, seek to discover the truth and investigate the murders that have happened. Also, these 3 people talk with dangerous killers and prepare reports about their murders. Number 38, Battlestar Galactica. The story of this series is about humans who live far from their home in the galaxy. These humans live in 12 groups with special characteristics. Before living in this galaxy, these humans fought with robots called Cylons and won. Number 37, Line of Duty. This series was created in 2012 and was nominated for BAFTA Awards in 2015 and 2018, and has also become one of the best BBC series in recent years. Number 36. Vikings. One of the best series on this list, the story about Ragnar Lothbrok, a man from the Viking kingdom who was a powerful character. Ragnar disagrees with his king and likes to travel west instead of east and discover new experiences. That's why he goes to the west with a few people and succeeds. Number 35. Mr. Robot. The story of this series is about a programmer named Elliot, played by Rami Malek, who hacks into people's communication systems and talks to them, using his extraordinary ability as a weapon against those who would harm his family. Uses and protects them. Mr. Robot has a wonderful personality that is interesting for the audience. Number 34. Mad Men. The story of this series is about a famous advertising company called Sterling Cooper on Madison Street in New York City. The events of this series take place in the 1960s, and the name Mad Men was used to describe the managers of advertising companies in the 1950s on Madison Street. Number 33. The Bear. The story of this series is about a man named Clerk, who is a very good chef and has worked in the best and most famous restaurants in the world and has received many awards as the best chef. He decides after bad things happen to his brother. Gerd returns to his hometown of Chicago and manages his father's small restaurant with his skills. Number 32. House MD. The story of this American series is about a genius doctor who does not have a good relationship with people and does not talk to them, but he helps them a lot. This doctor has the ability to discover dangerous diseases for humans, and with the help of his team, he can help people in treating their diseases.
Do you accept me as your queen and ruler?
Number 31. House of the Dragon. This series is based on the story of the book The World of Ice and Fire, written by George R.R. Martin, and was published by HBO in 2022. And its story is 200 years before the events of the Game of Thrones series, and it is about the Targaryen family, whose members are fighting each other for the throne. This series has 2 seasons that you can watch. Number 30. The Crown. The story of this historical series is about the real events that happened to the British royal family and about the personal life of the British Queen Elizabeth II, which is very interesting. Also, this series shows the story of British political and historical figures such as Churchill and Princess Diana. Written and directed by Peter Morgan, this series has aired in 60 episodes on Netflix. Number 29. When They See Us. In 1989, 4 young African-American boys and a Hispanic man were arrested for allegedly raping a 28-year-old white woman jogging in Central Park, aged between 14 and 16, and after several hours in custody and threatened by the police, they confessed to the crime. Number 28. Severance. What if the memories of the employees of a company controlled and separated? This is part of the story of this interesting series. This series is one of the best series of 2022, which was directed by Stiller and played by Adam Scott. It was released on Apple TV+. Received very good reviews from critics. Number 27. The Mandalorian. This series is one of the popular episodes of Star Wars, and it is about a lone Mandalorian soldier who is forced to travel in a galaxy far from his home, and he thinks about his purpose. Many things happen to him during this journey, and he meets a kid from the Yoda race that he has to protect. Number 26. Dark. The most complex series in this list, the story of the series takes place in the city of Winden, and in one day, several teenagers are lost and no one can understand how they disappeared. And this is scary and strange. These teenagers, after a few days in time and space, there are many, but they cannot find their home. Number 25. Stranger Things, one of the best series on Netflix and Imdb that has many fans, and the new and final season will be released soon. The story takes place in 1983, and a boy named Will disappears after he is separated from his friends. Will's mother is worried. He becomes his son, and they go after him with the sheriff of their town and Will's friends, but they find a strange girl named Eleven. Number 24. Dexter. A man named Dexter Morgan, who was a medical examiner in the city of Miami. He is a strange man, because during the day he investigates murders and murderers, and at night he kills people as a professional killer.
The next man who walks in here is getting ridden to death. Dad!
Hi.
Number 23. Fleabag. The story of the series is about an unnamed character who is called Fleabag because of his life. This woman has an interesting personality and speaks to the audience like the superhero character Deadpool, which makes people relate to this character. Number 22. House of Cards. This series is about American politics and relations between countries, governments, and politicians. This series has 6 seasons and was nominated for the Emmy Award 33 times, which is one of the best Netflix series. Number 21. The Boys. The story of the series is about a group of men and women who have superpowers. Each of them has their own characteristics. They have to protect the people of their city and country from dangerous people. The name of this superhero group is The Boys. Number 20. Shogun. The story is about the history and empire of Japan, and Lord Toranaga is one of the lords and commanders of Japan. And because of the events that happened in his land, his enemies want to destroy him. Lord Toranaga meets an Englishman named Jack, who is the captain of a naval ship, and helps him and the Japanese soldiers fight against their enemies. Number 19. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One of the best sitcoms on TV, this series was released on FX in 2005, and its final season was released in 2019, becoming the highest-rated sitcom on TV. The story of the series is about the managers of a cafe in the city of Philadelphia. Each of them has a different personality. Number 18. Freaks and Geeks. The days when Hollywood stars were teenagers. The story of this series is about a young girl who is approaching her final years of high school and has to start a new life soon. She likes to meet and talk with a group of students at school and make new friends before the end of high school to find. Number 17. Black Mirror. One of the best and most different Netflix series. The story is about technology and artificial intelligence, its advantages and disadvantages, the impact it has on people's personal lives, as well as the dangers that technology can have on the world and help people in wars. This series has 6 seasons that you can watch. Number 16. Succession. This series is one of the best series of the HBO network, and its story is about a rich family named Roy who have a lot of power in the media and are part of the media empire. But the events that have happened to this family have caused them to perform poorly. He is the manager of this powerful family.
Children?
1. She passed.
Number 15. True Detective. This series is made in several seasons, and the story is different in each season. In the first season of this series, which is the best part, 2 detectives of the criminal department, played by Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, have to find the killer of strange and scary deaths. Number 14. The Last of Us. The story of this series is based on the video game of the same name, and is about a dangerous disease that has destroyed Mia. This disease kills people and turns them into zombies. The story of this series is 20 years old. After these events, the main characters of the story, Ellie and Joel, try to go to a safe place to live. And also Ellie has a special feature that makes this disease control.
Don't.
Number 13. Fargo. This series has several chapters with different stories. The story of the first season is about an insurance salesman named Lester who lives in a small town in Minnesota. This man and his wife have a good life, but one day bad things happen to them which destroys their lives. Number 12. Narcos. The story of this series is based on the real events that happened in the life of Pablo Escobar, and it was released on Netflix. Pablo Escobar was a Colombian man who was the biggest drug dealer.
Who's the bitterest man in the living room? The bitterest man in the living room.
Number 11. Friends. Without a doubt, the Friends series is one of the most popular series in the history of television, and one of the most influential television comedy sitcoms. The story of the series shows the friendship and love between 6 friends and their personal lives, each of which has its own characteristics. They remain like members of a family and always help each other in problems. Number 10. The Office. This series is about the employees of Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, where most of the events of the series take place in their office. The story of the series is about different characters of the series, and each of them has their own personal life. For example, the manager of this office, Michael Scott, is a man who has been working in this company for a long time and is different from other managers. He is very funny and emotional. He treats his employees like his family. Number 9. Peaky Blinders, the most popular English series on Netflix. The story of this series is about a powerful and famous Shelby family in the 1920s. The leader of this family is Thomas Shelby, played by Cillian Murphy, who wants to become a powerful man in England, and his family members become the richest and most powerful family in England to
How many
be.
sons, yeah, have you cut, killed, murdered, fucking butchered, innocent and guilty, to send straight to fucking hell, ain't ya? Just like me!
Number 8. Sherlock. The story of this English series is about the famous character of the book Sherlock in 1887, and the story is about a smart detective named Sherlock Holmes, who along with his friend Dr. John Watson investigates the case of murders that happen in the city of London, and with their talent, they can find the killers of this case. Number 7. Better Call Saul. The story of the series Better Call Saul is about the events that happened to a criminal lawyer named Jimmy McGill before starting his work in his new office in New Mexico called Saul Goodman. This series was released on AMC Network in 2015 and was able to win various awards such as the Emmy Award. Number 6. The Wire. The story is about the events that happen in the city of Baltimore, and some police detectives have to investigate various murders that happen in the city. Various crimes are committed in this city, such as robbery or murder, and these police detectives they fight. Number 5. Band of Brothers. This mini-series, whose story and events are real, is about a group of American paratroopers who spend their training in America and England until the end of World War. These soldiers do a lot of hard training and try to become a good soldier for your country and people. Number 4. The Sopranos. The story is about a man named Tony Sopranos, who is a member of the New Jersey Mafia group and has many problems in his personal and professional life, and in order to get better, he goes to a psychiatrist for treatment. This series is one of the best HBO series and has also won many awards.
When I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Number 3. Chernobyl. The story of this series is based on the real and sad events that happened on April 26, 1986, when the nuclear power exploded and caused the radioactivity to be released in all the cities of Belarus, Ukraine, and Russia. With the sacrifice and courage of the men and women of these countries, the rest of the people were saved from this incident. Number 2. Game of Thrones. Millions of fans, 59 Emmy Awards, 7 Kingdoms, 8 thrilling seasons, 3 dragons, 1 Iron Throne, and an army of White Walkers are some of the features of this wonderful series. This series is based on the famous books of George R.R. Martin is Made, and it is about a land that has different kings, and each of them has different power and personality. Number 1. Breaking Bad. And finally, the best series of this list of 50 based on IMDb scores. The story of this wonderful series is about a man named Walter, who is a teacher and has many problems in his personal life. He meets a young man named Jesse, who is one of Walter's students, and with each other's help, they form a powerful duo. They are involved in the production of drugs, and they make a lot of money doing this.
Skyler, there's something I have to tell you.
Yeah, this is America.
Thanks for watching this video.